Hey everybody, it is time for another smoke detector unboxing. Kind of a small package. Is it open? I think. I don't want to damage the actual box or package. Oh. Guess we have to cut both sides. Oh, I see. Alright. And maybe. You guys seeing this? Okay, there it is. I don't know what the deal with all that is, but I can set that aside. So, Code One, smoke alarm, model number CD-2. And you can see this is 120 volt AC permanent wired model. Now that's a little bit different because, as you know, they have the battery powered models like this one and this one that I have, but this one is 120 volt labeled, so it's still sealed in its shrink wrap. So let's go ahead and open it up and immediately destroy all the value of it. I might need a knife for this as well. Don't want to damage the box. Oh, and there's a price tag on here. This was bought at Furrow. I don't really know of that chain, for $12.95 it looks like. So may keep this plastic wrap just for that, or if we cut the tag off or something. And I noticed there's another tag right there that's been kind of half torn off. Alright, so let's open it up and take the manual out, and here it is. So, as you can see, it's a FireX rebrand, and it's actually a rebrand of the FX1020 or FXW-1. So, yeah, it's basically just the FireX with the Jameson cover with the round vertical vents that resemble the CD-200A vents. Yeah, so very cool. This one's brand new, and it's the wiring harness and the mounting bracket. Let me take you guys down here so you can get a better view. So yeah, this is the CD-2, and a few other collectors have these. Yeah, it's just basically a rebranded FireX. So, like I said, the FXW-1 here, or you can just see it right there, but I can't get this bracket off. Well, you know what I do have right here is my FX1020 that doesn't have a bracket, so we can see this one is issue 14,377, and this one is 13/223. And I think that might be a date stamp. 84, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, and it is labeled as Jameson instead of FireX on there, which is interesting. But everything else is basically the same. It's got the same warning on the on the base here. Caution of radioactive material. Continuous horn indicates alarm, although it's in a smaller font on this by unauthorized personnel voids warranty. It's the same, but again in smaller font on that one. So plug the wiring harness in, and it's the exact same wiring harness, obviously. Can I even get it in? Is the circuit board in there right? Okay, there we go. I was wondering if the circuit board, the PCB, wasn't in there right, but it looks fine from this side. And this one does have the domed test button. As you know, earlier ones, like this one, the FXC, have the tiered button. I don't think we've come across the CD-2 with the tiered button, but that's not to say they don't exist. And of course, the Jameson logo in the middle. So yeah, let's get this one wired up, and let's go for a test. Okay, I've got it wired up, so let's go ahead and plug it in. Oh, the light is on. You can see the LED in there. Not a very bright LED. I think some of these had bright LEDs. This one, well, that one's not too bright either. This one, my FXW-1's LED is kind of bright. But yeah, most of them I think had kind of dim LEDs. So I guess let's go ahead and give it a test now. So here we go. Yep, that sounds like a FireX. And I think the LED stays lit. Okay, well, it goes very dim. I don't know if I would count that as going out, but it does go very dim. Dimmer than all the other ones I have. Very interesting, actually. I mean, it basically goes out. Very cool. I'm very happy with it. So yeah, now I guess the main difference between, like, the battery-powered model, this one, the CD-1, and then I think this one is also a CD-1. This is the one that I got new in the box with the travel bracket. I don't know where the travel bracket is. It's somewhere downstairs, but I can't get the bracket off of these. Bracket is really difficult to get off sometimes. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this one's also a CD-1. So the two CD-1s, obviously they have the battery compartments on the back in place of the wiring harness. And there's a lot more text molded into the base. And then, of course, other than the horn, obviously these have the piezo electronic horn, and these have the Kobishi CLB-26 vibratory horn. But the sensor is the same. This one actually has the same sensor as, not that one, this one. Actually, no, sorry, this is the later style sensor that has that sort of domed top portion. This has the same sensor as, like, the regular FireX, like that. But this one's sensor, for some reason, I don't know how well you can see, has these 3 holes on top. There, you can see it right there. Almost like little salt and pepper shaker holes drilled into it. Little pinpoint holes, or like in a bowling ball, the 3 holes. very interesting. Don't know why some of the sensors had those and some didn't. So this one has the same sensor as the regular FireX's without the holes. And then this was a much later design that they, I think, used also on these, the FX1218, although this one has a different sensor altogether, it seems. And then Jameson did rebrand the FX1218 as well. I think their model number was a CD-23. Again, there are a few collectors that have those. I'd like to find one. And this is a different FX1218 than the one that I have a video on. This is one I got off Marketplace. And the bracket is half broken, and it still doesn't have a wiring harness, so I'm still looking for an FX1218 and the Jameson CD-23 rebrand of the FX1218. Or an FX1218 that's in good condition and with its wiring harness. So, yeah, I'll do one more test for this one. Definitely love that loud sound of the Kobishi CLB-26. So now I'll show you the box. Now I think these were contractor models. I can't be too certain. I'll only say that because these boxes are completely plain and devoid of any art or anything like that. Just all red. I really like the bright red background with the white lettering, though. It's very striking. With the big Code One logo, model number CD-2. Model number CD-2, and then there's some information on that side. Again, model CD-2. Blank on that side. And then the back has information about Jameson, the UL listing. I think that's the fire marshal listing. Yeah. So now let's look at the manual. So here's the manual. Let's get all these other units out of the way. Too many FireX units. All right. So this is basically the same as like the CD-1 manual. It looks like they're similar design. Code 1 smoke alarm owner's manual. Model CD-2 permanent wired. Open this up. I think it's like a fold-out pamphlet style. Yeah. Okay, so this is the front. And of course, as always, if you want to read it, you can just pause. I'll try not to get the glare. Kind of an interesting diagram there. Although you can see that it clearly does have these vents and not the FireX vents like that. Let's see. Yep. Well, again, more interesting drawings down here. And then, of course, the California State Fire Marshal warning, which is built into the manual on this one. No copyright date. And no date on here either. So, who knows? This seems like it's a later 80s. Maybe that's in 1988 instead. That's what the 8 designates. I don't know. Because I do know that these were made well into the late 80s, so... But yeah, this is a very cool one. Very happy to have this one. Definitely a different variant of the FX1020, or the FireX standard family that I don't have. So yeah, I'll do one more test. So that is the Jameson Code One model CD-2, 120 volt hardwired smoke detector. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.